Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at the Monitor tab under the ThinkOrSwim platform and look at some of the sub-tabs and what functions they come with. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive in here. Now notice how on the main interface itself, whenever you click on the Monitor tab, it will still have the left panes, the left dialog boxes, which typically do not change regardless of what tab you have clicked on. So the left side essentially remains the same unless you make any changes to that left side. Now the Monitor tab comes with the activities and position sub-tab and the account statement, FX report. Those are the three most common sub-tabs. Now in this case we have the strategy roller here. I'm not sure if it's because we are on the paper trading side of things, but the activity and positions essentially shows you the working orders. These are orders that have not been filled yet for the day. It shows you the filled orders. These are orders that have been executed once you placed those orders. The canceled orders, this is a section that shows you all the orders that were canceled if you canceled them yourself or they got automatically canceled after market close. Rolling strategies is a section that allows you to come up with strategies to extend your option expiration dates if you wanted more time. You have the position statement. This is the section that shows you the positions that you are currently holding, and it shows you the portfolio overall as well. So if you had 5 different stocks or 5 different securities that you were holding, they would all show up under this section here. So you would have all the positions showing up under this section. You also have the beta weighting tool along with this position statement section. The beta weighting tool is a tool that allows you to assess the risk of your position in comparison to other stocks or indices. The process of comparing volatility between stocks or indices is essentially what is known as beta weighting. You can choose the baseline of that comparison. In this case, it's QQQ. You can always change that to any baseline of your preference. So you can change that to SPY. A lot of people use SPY, QQQ. What that does is that once you click on this checkbox, once you check the beta weighting tool, it automatically modifies the delta values of your positions to show the comparison to the baseline that you have selected. So the delta would represent the dollar figure that you would expect to see with every dollar increase of that baseline that you have selected. So for any dollar increase in the SPY, you would see that change in delta for the positions that you're holding in. At the very bottom here, it typically shows you the portfolio overall. So it shows you how much your portfolio would change in comparison to the baseline that you would be looking at here. This is a good section to assess the risk of your positions and portfolio overall to another stock or an index that you are interested in. If you wanted to add any additional columns in this section, you can do that by hitting the gear icon and picking out whichever column you would like to display in that section, and it will show you that information. So let's say ask size, you add that column, you hit OK, it basically gives you that column. If you have positions, they'll be displayed in this section, and then of course it would show you the ask size. Now if you want to take that off as well, you can just click on the gear icon, click on the ask size, remove item, hit OK. Well, we're going to remove the percent change as well, hit OK. Voila, it definitely removes that information there. Another thing that comes with the Monitor tool would be the news section. Now I know it's not displayed on this particular screen, but it will be the news section, which typically shows up under the position and statements section. So the news section gives you news related to the positions that you're holding. News comes in timestamps. It shows you the date, time of that news, and it shows you the headline. It also gives you the symbols that were mentioned in that particular news article. And then on the right side, when you click on any one of the news headlines, on the right side it gives you the reading pane, which shows the full article, and if there's any related news to that article, it will show you additional articles, additional reports, additional news related to that particular stock or particular headline per se. So it's always a good feature to use because it shows you the news that is related to your positions in the portfolio. The other thing is the order entry tool, which you can access pretty much from any one of these tabs. So the order entry tool can be expanded or collapsed. That way you can have enough space to look at other things on the interface. We're going to expand it. We'll expand the order entry and saved orders section here. So this section allows us to determine the number of shares we want to buy. If we want to sell, it allows us to set the limit at which we want to buy or sell this particular securities. So let's say we wanted to buy IBM, for example, wanted to buy an option in IBM. We say we want to go towards the January 2023. I'll do 130. To ask. Once you click on the option chain that you want to purchase, you're going to have an entry show up under the order entry section. If you wanted to buy, you leave it at buy. If you wanted to sell, you change that to sell, and typically it'll change to red. So that's a good indication of what you would be doing with the tool itself. In this case, we wanted to set to buy. So we leave it at buy, and we want to dictate how many contracts we want to buy. So in this case, only want to buy one contract and not 10. So you change that accordingly. Of course, you want to say to open. Okay, so you want to buy to open. That shows you the ticker symbol of what you're buying, the option expiration date, the strike price that you're selecting, and it's going to be a call in this case. So if it was a put, you would essentially specify that to say it is a put. Price shows you 845. Now 845 is essentially the ask price. The bid price is 790. Now you want to enter a price that is somewhat closer to the bid price so you can pay the least amount of money for this option. You don't want to pay the most amount of money for the option. You want to get a good deal. That's what it is. You always want to find a good deal and not just pay any price just because you want to take a position. You want a good deal whenever you're getting securities, either shares or options. You always want to go for the best deal. And of course, you want to set your limit. Okay, so this is where by entering a price in there, you're setting your limit, and make sure your padlock right here is locked. Otherwise, if it is unlocked, it'll default to the market order, okay, which is the highest price you're going to pay for the option. So we don't want that. So we'll just change it back to 790, making sure it's locked in here. And you can specify whether you want this order to be active only for the day and on the best exchange. Okay, once you're satisfied with those parameters, you can essentially hit click and confirm. The order will be sent in and be fulfilled if at all that limit price is met. Now, if you wanted to add any conditions to this order, you can click on the little gear icon and set additional conditions in order for this order to be executed. Okay, so you can specify the date, time, and you can add additional conditions in terms of bid price, ask price, or studies. So you can either add an RSI on here to say, hey, whenever the RSI drops below the oversold line, you can go ahead and execute this order if at all that limit price is met. This is where you would go and add conditions to your order. And in the description, it shows you the description of your order as specified. So if you read through this and it does not make sense, you can go ahead and make some edits to your conditions and send them forth. In this case, we're not going to have any conditions set in place, so we'll just go ahead and deselect the conditions and just cancel out of this. So we still have that order, so we can confirm and send, being that we have set up our parameters and this is what we want for that order. Confirm send. You have another dialog box that pops up. It shows you the order description, the break-even stock prices, the max profit, max loss, and things like that. So if you wanted to edit the order, you can go back and edit. If you wanted to delete the order, you can do likewise. If you wanted to save it, you can go ahead and save it. In this case, we wanted to send it, right? So now in this case, I wanted to send. If we send it, it goes directly and it'll be part of the working orders down here. Okay, now let's go ahead and save it because I want to show you what happens if you save an order. So you click save, it basically comes up under your saved orders section. Okay, so you can always choose to save an order rather than confirming and sending it right there and then. And at a later time, if you wanted to have that order confirmed and sent in, you can just right click on that saved order entry, confirm and send. It will bring that dialog box up and then you can just hit send and it basically sends that order. We'll expand that, and that order is essentially going to be part of our working orders here. Once it's fulfilled, it'll go through, right? So that's basically how you use the order entry tool. Account statement shows you the buying power that you have, and it's got the order history, shows you the orders that you have in the back end. It shows you your trade history, your profit losses, and you can always dictate how far back you want to look at your account statements, your profit loss ratios, and of course, the account summary shows you the net liquidating value, the stock buying power, options buying power, and some of the summary associated with your account. FX reports, Forex traders, this is where you would find your reports. The strategy roller allows you to roll over options, extend the expiration dates, and of course you would pay that difference in pricing. That is basically it on the monitor tab and the sub tabs. Pretty easy and straightforward. If there are any other parameters of this screen that you would like to know about, always go to the education tab. It will show you all the specifics of any tab that you are looking at. Again, thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe.